James here. It's just me this week for a very quick weekly update. For reasons that we'll talk about, there is just so much going on, but we missed last week and wanted to make sure to give you a little update this week. And sorry, I'm just rearranging my tabs here. All right. So, couple of quick things. We're working hard right now. We just had a great time at the Cardano Summit in a few different spots around the globe. Roberto was hosting in Seville, Spain. I made it out to Laramie, Wyoming, and had the privilege of meeting a bunch of people. And we've been slowly getting back to work as we kind of recover from the weekend, but also follow up with a lot of people and think about all the next steps that are on our way. As always, this is our mission. This is what we're really trying to do. We want to mobilize as many people as possible to build stuff on the Cardano protocol and beyond. And this is what we wake up and try to do week in and week out. And it's been really exciting to see people start to show up and deliver and build stuff and accomplish stuff and ask better and better questions together. So in service of this mission, we just like to give you a quick update every Friday, shouting out some folks, sharing some quick updates about what we've done, our next steps, and we propose some next steps to you as well. There's a lot of people we could shout out this week, but to keep this update short because the whole team has a lot to do, I just wanted to shout out everybody we met online and in real life over the course of the Cardano Summit last weekend. It was so special to really get to connect with people in person for those opportunities we had, and to continue thinking big for people who weren't able to make it to a live event. The energy was palpable, and it's really exciting to be in on this with all of you. Specific shout outs, want to shout out Swag from Pool PM, always kind, thoughtful, and available to help out as we learn how to use that tool. And huge shout out to Andrew Westberg, who was also in Laramie, for going full time on Cardano. It's a big deal, and we're glad to have you here, man. What have we done? Well, keeping this list short today because I want to show you a couple things specifically. One is Stakeboard. Giovanni has been leading the work on Stakeboard Dandelion. There's a new set of really user-friendly APIs that we are just pumped to get into your hands. So I'll show you that in just a minute. He's continuing to make some progress on the blockchain authentication mechanism. It's going to be really neat to see how that works. And we wrapped our first month of Plutus project-based learning. So I want to give you a live update of that as well. Hey, and Steve's here. What's up, Steve? Thanks for spending a few moments with me. So yeah, I'm going to go back and show you each of these in just a few minutes. But I just wanted to kind of finish our quick notes first before going through some links. Seriously, our biggest next step is to keep building for the long term. That's all there is to it. Last weekend was so edifying because it's really hard to stay patient in this ecosystem. We want to accomplish everything yesterday, and everything always moves a little slower than we want it to because we are all learning together. And so it was really cool to kind of get to reflect on what this first year of Gimbalabs, where it's gotten us to in terms of the iceberg that we are building together. And I'm really pumped and more committed than ever to doing that deep, long-term work. And that's really what unites everybody on this team, is not quick successes, but hey, how do we tell this story? How do we make it happen in the long term? So really fired up to keep working on that. Giovanni shares, like he did earlier, integrating more services into Hilltop and therefore into Dandelion. Much more to come on individual services and how these are used, but there's a lot of people using Dandelion already. And I think it's going to be a nice upgrade for folks to be able to interact with it via Hilltop. And as we start to watch more functionality come online, you're going to start to see as well some of the work we do in Plutus PBL show up in some of these tools so that they're easier and more accessible to use. For your next steps this week, and again, I'm going to take you through a couple of tabs in my internet browser in just a second, but these are some exciting ones to be able to put in folks' hands. So go play with Stakeboard. I'm going to show you that link in just a second. Get ready for the Gimbalabs chaotic NFT drop. And if you want to learn about our drop mechanics, here's a little background watching for you. It's a video on YouTube. And I'm going to let you watch that so you can start to understand how we're going to approach growth of the NFTs that we are currently finishing up. And definitely make sure to prepare for the metaverse. I really want to talk your ear off about this project right now, but in keeping with the spirit of this project, I'm going to keep it a little bit opaque for now, and I'm going to give you this opportunity to participate. So let's take a quick look at some of these links. As always, all 4 of our stake pools are struggling. Developer stake pools, they don't attract the same delegation as those that really focus on marketing. We're focused on building. It's what we're doing. And we hope that some people can start to see the value of what we're doing and make sure to support any of these stake pools. Each one of us has had a bunch of epics lately with no blocks. That stinks. It is what it is. And together we got to figure out whether the Cardano network is just about marketing or whether it's about something deeper than that. And that's on all of us to figure out together. What's up, Ariel? What's up, Piotr? What's up, A? Good to see you guys. All right, so let's look at a few links real quick. I'm going quick today because it's just me. And I just wanted to give you a little tour of a couple of these resources I just shared. Here we go. So here's the Hilltop APIs. You can see the link here. I'll drop each one of these into the chat as I go, and I'll move these into the show notes afterwards. But these are the Hilltop APIs. I just recommend going through here and checking out what some of these things can do. We can do a deeper dive into this, and this certainly deserves the starter kit treatment. But this is extremely well organized, extremely user-friendly, and there's some really advanced functionality in here that personally I haven't found APIs quite this accessible yet for something, right? Like checking your Sigma if you're a stake pool operator, for example. Okay, what else do we got here? This is the GitLab repository for Plutus Learning. And what you'll see in this repo is what we accomplished in the first ever month of Plutus PBL in September. Okay, when I say PBL, I mean project-based learning. Basically, the intention of PBL is to pick up where Plutus Pioneers left off. Plutus Pioneers did a really good job teaching people the ins and outs of Plutus itself, a lot of Haskell and Plutus syntax, and really understanding how a validator works. But it didn't leave a lot of us confident that we were ready to be full stack dApp developers by really having an idea for where Plutus fits in. And so with PPBL, that's where we're picking up and we're saying, all right, what sort of functionality can we build to make it feel really accessible and doable to build real utility that incorporates Plutus? And of course, we can't use all of Plutus in production yet. And that's a really good thing that it's rolling out the way it is. For now, what we have the ability to do is reference pre-compiled scripts as we are building transactions, but a lot of the off-chain logic that will be available via the Plutus application backend is not quite there yet because the PAB is not released. And so we're learning how to use the PAB. So in some of these videos, you'll see us using local instances of the PAB, and we're moving towards some examples this month of what we can do right now, given the status of the release of Plutus over time. So just a really, to me, this is such a honest work in progress. And what we're trying to do is learn as much as we can together, because at Gimbalabs, we believe really strongly that more people need to know how to build with these tools. Doesn't mean that everybody has to be a Plutus developer, but there's a heck of a lot of work to do and a really cool opportunity to be had if you can kind of pick up this stuff and start building. I personally learn better when I'm talking to people. And so I hope that people get the same opportunity here by kind of looking through these with us. What I would recommend doing is, if you have been through Plutus Pioneers, you can check this out and you can try to do some of these challenges before you look at our documentation. We have some walkthrough videos and public repos. This is a really decentralized project. You'll see that each of these repository links points to somebody else's work, because this is a distributed team of people all collaborating to build effective resources. And we're definitely not trying to own all of this as Gimbalabs, because it's open source stuff. Yeah, hit me up with questions about that. Be sure to check it out if you got time. Just checking the questions here. Yeah, good. Okay, then this is another task that we put out there. All I could say about this is I think people who participate in this are going to be pretty glad they did. And this is a story that is being written by a wide variety of people right now. And we are launching the metaverse with intentions, because that's where we think it has to start. The metaverse has the potential to be absolutely dystopian and to distract all of us from the most important intentions that we bring to our flesh and blood living and loving lives. And we think that one way around this is to make sure that we launch the metaverse by starting from a place of intentions. And we hope that you will join us. If you know how to add metadata to a transaction, go for it. Just make sure to use this metadata key. If you're not sure, find somebody who can help you, or try to go through these steps. Adriano's Game Changer wallet makes it easy to add some metadata on your own. And it's a pretty cool just tool to learn how to use. Now it's still in beta. It's still the early days of Game Changer. And just because other stuff was prioritized first, when you log into Game Changer, you got to use your mnemonic words every time you log in. So don't put a lot of value in your Game Changer wallet. But if you do start a wallet and just kind of use it as like a little playground for yourself, 1.5 ADA will be plenty to help you post some metadata to the blockchain at this key right here. And then you will be part of this shared text. What we're basically doing, how much can I tell you right now? We are building an ancient source of intentions for the metaverse. And if you understand what metadata is and how it relates to the blockchain and where it lives, you'll know that it's indelible, and we're going to be able to access these intentions for decades to come. And so I hope that you'll put your intention there and you'll kind of watch it be used over time. Ooh, hey, am I too small? Whoops. That's probably better. Yeah, good call. So be sure to check this task out. If you feel like going one step further, be sure to get this out to people. And so we have a tiny URL, right? I dropped this whole URL in the chat, but you can also just use tiny URL /Cardano Metaverse like this. All right, you can see how that changed. I'll drop that in the chat too, just so folks have it. I agree, Steve. That's the idea. Yep. Cardano Metaverse. So yeah, if you're like tweeting this link or anything and you want to get the word out there, this is a huge thing you can do just to start kind of organically building this text. And over the next few weeks, we're going to start to distinguish different pathways through the metaverse. And I'm probably saying too much already, but I'm just very excited to start to roll this out to y'all. And again, jump in, do this if you have the time. I promise you won't regret it. And then finally, if you want to do a little background work preparing for the first ever Gimbalabs NFT drop, you're going to want to understand this equation right here. Okay, this is called the logistic population equation or population map. It's called by a few different things. But basically, this is an equation that helps us to think about how real populations grow in the real world. And if you understand a little bit about this, you're going to find your NFT drop just a little bit more accessible. So this is kind of your background research if you want to understand what we're doing. And this video I would absolutely recommend. It's a fun, a little less than 20 minutes. This is a cool place to kind of learn about the logistic map or the logistic equation. And I bet it'll blow your mind a little bit. And I bet after you watch this, you'll have some ideas yourself for how you might orchestrate an NFT drop. So when we release that, we will be referring to this equation and expecting people to think about it and learn how to understand it. But yeah, so those are the next steps. Shared a couple links this week. I'll drop those into the notes on YouTube if you're watching this asynchronously. But a lot of building to do, a lot of cool projects going on, and we're really excited to have you all along for the ride. I'll stick around if anybody has questions. Blockchain Indiana Jones, love it. Yeah, me too, Steve. Veritasium, great, just well edited and really thoughtful teaching videos. Always get inspired. Anybody got questions about anything? Fractals and chaos. Yeah, here, take this one too. And yeah, this is, I mean, I'm like fighting the urge not to just start like talking about how this equation works, but definitely watch that video and you can, it's pretty easy to set up like a little spreadsheet or something where you can kind of experiment with how the numbers work out. And that's kind of how the NFT series is going to grow over time with a twist on top of that. Roberto sends love. He's hanging out with some friends in from out of town. Julie sends love. She's finishing up some work for the day job before we catch up later. Giovanni sends love. He is building amazing things for all of us to use and raising a new little baby. And Kyle is also deep in development mode. So that's why I came out here today, just to represent on behalf of the rest of the team, Randall, Oshiji, Piotr, and Steve, and everybody else. We're really excited to be doing what we're doing and to see you soon. To the Ari, is that the metadata? I got a few, hit me up on Discord because I've got a few links that can kind of show you some options for that. And I'll probably make a quick starter kit about Game Changer Wallet and metadata next week, this task even more accessible to folks. Yeah, Cool. So yeah, if I do try to like rally some folks, because I know there's a few other people on the Discord who have been intending to figure this out on their own. And Game Changer, if you haven't played with it yet, is really good. I bet you can follow those bullet instructions and just kind of experience Game Changer and check that out. And if you do it, let me know and I'll show you how to kind of check that what you did worked out. Yeah, Summit Debrief. Hey, let's talk about that offline, like in terms of like a public facing. I think you're going to see the debrief in the form of the projects that we're talking about over the next few months. But if there's something that we should say publicly, I'd love your advice on that, to start figuring that out. Looking forward to an actual Gimbal summit sometime soon as well. It's going to be really cool to get together and kind of have more interactive workshops than maybe we saw at the Cardano Summit. I thought there was a lot of interesting content, but I think I would have preferred a little bit more audience interaction there and opportunities for people to meet with each other around common problems. And so that's something that we really want to do here at Gimbal. All right, y'all. Build mode. Here we are. It's October 1st, 3 months left in 2021. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but let's make those things happen together. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I'll see you real soon. We need a jam session. Yes, we do. Oh man. Hey, when we're the reward for all this work is that someday we'll all get to hang out and play a bunch of music together. I take that very seriously, that's where we're headed, because why else do all this stuff, right? Cheers. Steve, you bet, man. Thanks for hanging out. Ari, whatever happens is exactly what's supposed to happen, right? That's the first rule of open spaces and just getting together. No plan, but if we work hard and we take care of each other, we're going to be okay. All right. Cheers, y'all.